Hi, Mike from Gerick Sports here. We're going to show you how to change a flat. We're going to give you some tech tips over the next few weeks here. And the first one we're going to show you is changing a flat. When you're out on the trail, obviously when you have a flat, it's going to start out flat. So that's where we're at right now. The first thing that you want to do is actually take your shifter, shift into the smallest gear on your cassette. So you're going to do that, pick it up, pedal it, drop it into there. The reason why you're doing that is it makes it a lot easier to put the wheel back on when you're finished. If you have a derailleur like this SRAM X9, you're going to want to put the lock in like so. Oh, if we can get it. Like so, it creates slack in the chain. If you don't have that feature, obviously you don't have to worry about it. I find it easiest to flip the bike completely upside down. And now you're going to remove the wheel. So with this style of bike, you just remove the wheel by unscrewing the quick release, pulling out the axle. Next, you're going to have to pull the wheel out past the chain. What you're going to do is take the derailleur, pull it slightly out of the way, and remove the wheel. A lot of people are freaked out about the gearing and stuff. One of the reasons why we shifted it into this bottom gear is so that when you reinstall it, you know exactly where the chain's supposed to be. So it's a lot easier to align the wheel into the dropouts and into the disc. So next step is to get the tire and tube off of here. This is a Presta valve, which again, people are a little bit afraid of. These caps are completely useless. Throw them away, never use them again. This right here, you're completely out of air. You back that out to make sure that all air is out. Take off your retainer, which is this little
circly thing?
Circly thing, yeah. So once that's off, now the tube is ready to be removed. You're going to grab a tool out of your backpack called a tire lever. They're really easy to use. All you do is you take the curved lip. The reason why I'm using these versus a spoon or a knife is because I don't want to puncture the tire when I put a new one in. Or puncture the tube, sorry. You're going to put it in like so, and you're just going to drag it around. Once you've drug it around, you're ready to take the tube out, and you remove the tube. Now you've got your old tube out. One of the mistakes a lot of people will make when they're first changing their first few flats is not finding out why you got the flat. Two ways to find out. One, inflate your tube up a little bit. If there's two holes side by side, that's a pinch flat, it means that you didn't have enough tire pressure. If there's a single hole, chances are something went through the tire. The reason why I mention this is because if something went through the tire, it could still be in there. You put a new tube in, you're not going to be happy with that. So what you're going to do is you're going to check the whole inside of the tire, feeling for glass or wire or anything that could be protruding through the tire. Once you've ensured that that isn't the problem, you're going to grab your fresh tube. Your GoPro ran out, didn't it?
It did. That's why we have two cameras. We're okay.
So again, you're going to take that useless cover off and never use it again. You're going to take this. I find it easiest with this just to blow the tube up just so it has shape. I use my mouth to do it. So I find it faster and easier to do that because being a sales guy, I'm full of hot air. Sorry, that's bad. But, okay, next up to bat, you're going to find the valve stem hole, which is where you're going to put the valve stem. You're going to pop it in through and move it to the outside of the tire. You're going to now take, this is called the tire bead, and hook it to the inside and work your way around. I find it easiest to work opposite to the valve stem, which is this piece. So that's the first part I put in. That will be the last part. Then you take your little
circle thing,
circle thingy for Prestas, attach that on, and finish working the the rim bead onto the tire, onto the rim. And what your biggest thing to not do now is pinch the tube between either the rim or the tire bead. If you can do it by hand, if you're strong enough, that's fantastic. I'm a bit of a wuss, so I will do it again with my tire lever. And what you actually want to do is go up underneath here, make sure that there is no tube between the rim bead, the rim, and the tire lever. If there is, you will flat it putting it on. See right there? I've got the tube. So I've got to move it underneath. Try again. Again, grab it, no tube, and then now your tire is on. At this point you have two options. One option is to blow up your tube with a traditional pump that you'd buy. I am far too lazy for that. I use a CO2 system. The reason I like CO2 is because of the speed of it and the when you're out on your road bike, I don't like having my back to traffic while I'm changing a tube, so I use CO2 because it cuts your tube change, the time of it, in half. The first thing you do is you screw the cylinder or the nozzle onto the cylinder. You're gonna hear a slight hiss when it punctures, so it's punctured. Now the cylinder is punctured. It's as easy as turning it on like a tap or turning it off. That's how you control your flow of air. But watch how fast this inflates your tube. You just insert it onto the Presta valve, back that out, and I've just finished inflating my tube. So versus dealing with mosquitoes and whatever else you're dealing with in the community forest or having your back to traffic out on the road, you've now inflated your tire in, I don't know, 3 seconds, that kind of ballpark. Your wheel is now ready to install on the bike. Again, remembering that you were shifted into this bottom gear, you're going to take the chain, pull it onto the bottom gear, and then guide the disc in between the pads at the caliper. Once you've done that, everything should line up. Sometimes it takes a little bit of jostling, but you can see it's lined up. Your last piece is to do up your quick release skewer. So you thread that in. As a general rule with quick release skewers, people think you have to tighten them a lot more than you need to. Really, all you need to do is make it tight enough so that when you're pushing on the quick release skewer, it makes a slight imprint in the palm of your hand. You just want to see when you've kind of closed it, that's the slight imprint. It doesn't have to be muscled on super tight. So a slight imprint is all you need. Then on the SRAM derailleur, all you have to do is flex it slightly forward, the lock disengages, you're ready to ride again. So that was a tube change. If you use CO2, you can probably do it in 2 to 3 minutes. It's a lot better than walking out an hour, half an hour from the trail that you just rode into. So nice and easy change. The stuff that it takes to change out your tube, you can roughly purchase for $30, $35, and you're going to be able to change a flat out in the forest and not have to walk out or not have to phone someone. Thanks a lot, you guys. Happy riding. We'll see you out there.